buttercup, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Hey guys, what's going on? Nerf Herder here. So, I have been wanting to update some of these videos, my earlier videos, at the beginning of this channel, just due to the poor quality in video, and I've been waiting for reasons to update these specific sabers that have been featured in those videos, and I feel like I kind of wasted, squandered them in such a poor quality video. I've been waiting to update these sabers for a while, and I kind of got a little impatient. So I was going to wait to redo this whenever I upgraded this soundboard with a CFX, but I don't know when that's going to be, and this is one of my absolute favorite sabers. And while swinging it around, I was like, you know what? I'm pretty spoiled nowadays. This video is going to be another in-depth video on my 2.0 Starkiller, Force Unleashed first game, Starkiller, that I made a while ago. And the reason is that you never see it, obviously, is because this soundboard is just the Prism 5, I think 5.1 with the NeoPixel build. And I mean, it's dated technology now, which is really funny because it's not a bad board. It just doesn't have smooth swing. If anything, I just wanted to definitely show this off a little bit in a better quality video and a little bit more depth talk. And I will be updating this soundboard. I'll probably do a whole reinstall on it, but for now it's still pretty fun. It's basically my showpiece, you know. It's got quotes, I swing it around, I turn it on, I change the crystal colors and have a good old time. But this one has a lot of work into it, man. I put a lot of time into this build, going back and forth, doing different things, changing my mind on some cosmetic outlooks. The crystal chamber alone, I spent a lot of time on the crystal chamber, going back and forth between what I was going to do, how I was going to hold it. Was I going to go with 4 of these brass bars, just 2? Were they going to be brass? All that kind of stuff. So this saber was made, I did it with a Korbanth 2.0 kit. The 2.0 kit gives you this ribbed core that the shell slides over, the Graflex kit slides over. And I've always been a fan of that look. I love the 2.0 Starkillers. It is my favorite Starkiller look. I fell in love with it when I saw him. You know, Darth Alice makes a lot of, back in the day, made a lot of Starkillers, custom Starkiller builds. And then, of course, Christian Gale of RGV Custom Sabers, he did use a 2.0 kit to do it. And then people started doing them. You know, this was years ago. I fell in love with it. And I was like, man, I really want one of those one day. And then once I started customizing sabers myself, I was like, I'm doing it. I'm taking on that project. So I got one, cut it up, did my cut on the shroud, did my research. You guys do a lot of research. These take a lot in them. And then I just installed it, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and power it up, and we'll run through it. I put a bunch of quotes from anything Starkiller related. So you're going to hear some quotes that are, you know, from the second game or what have you. Vader, Palpatine, just anything that I was like, that works for me. So you'll hear a bunch of different quotes. And then as for the fonts, I think this is a Vader font. Can't remember which one it is. These are legacy style fonts, so they're a little older. I think this is Vader R1 maybe. Can see that chamber in there. I love this saber so much. it's still good. It's so funny. That's how spoiled I am. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I mean, but a couple years ago, I would have been like, that is incredible. Now I'm like, oh, it doesn't have any smooth swing? Nah, these boards are still fun, man. They're still pretty good. And I modified the sensitivity on the Prism to my liking back in the day whenever I used these boards pretty frequently. This could be a long video. Okay, so let's break this down real quick. The control box, and we'll have more fun here in a second. The control box, pommel, and the bars, the grip bars, these guys right here, it came from Ray Fleet at Texas Custom Sabers. He did a run, and I immediately snagged on it. That's what got me to do this build back in the day. I was like, hold on, I definitely want to build one now, because he was like, hey, what do you guys think about me doing that? And I was like, yep, do it, buddy. Here's my down payment. But it worked out really cool. I really enjoy it. So the kit is a 2.0. The chamber rods, these bars, they came from Cloud City Sabers, Jeremy at Cloud City Sabers, and they were great. I really need to get more. And then these little ones on the inside that bend in, these little chamber rods that bend in and kind of touch the crystal a little bit. Get a sound mode. Just for show. Those came from, I believe, Clint. I bought them a long time ago. He did one for me. And then the crystal in there is a quartz crystal. And what I used, and I'm pretty sure people probably will use the same things or have. So for the longest time, I beat myself up because I was like, what am I going to do for the chamber? What am I going to do that holds the crystal? What's all this stuff? And I kind of wanted it to be somewhat clean on the inside, or to look, I didn't want to use plastic, any 3D printed plastic pieces. I wanted this to be a full, realistic looking thing going on in there. So what I ended up doing was I used 7/8 inch heat sinks, because the inner diameter is 7/8 inch. And then I took two Graflex thumb screws, and I put them inside each side, and that's what grips and holds the crystal in there. And then it's really cool. It's hard to pick up on anything other than looking at it in person. I have like a butane torch type bit that I fit inside the top part of the top thumb screw, Graflex thumb screw in the chamber, and it grips the crystal just right. And when it's lit up, you can see all the oh, come on, if it could just focus, we can see it. And you could see all the little individual holes the butane thing holds onto it. It's pretty sweet. The chassis 3D printed by Rob. This is an old chassis from Stock Sabers. I need to clean all that up. I don't even know if this was designed for a Prism. I had a Prism soundboard at the time. Again, this was like over a year ago when I built this or installed it, and I had an extra spare Prism board, and this was before CFX came out, and I was like, I'm tired of this thing sitting empty, and I was like, screw it. I got a Prism sitting off to the side just waiting for something, and I was like, let's bring this to life, and maybe I'll throw a Profi in it later or whatever. It's just been a shelf queen ever since. But I did all the weathering myself, all the cuts, the bunny ears I straightened. Thought that was kind of a must after I saw, I believe Christian does that. He straightens his out, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Blade plug I made, cut up a Graflex clamp card, the Graflex clamp, and I wanted the letters on it, so I got a stamped one. Cut that up to the body, cut up a very thin aluminum pipe that was the same thickness as the clamp, and that worked out really, really nicely because I wanted this body to be like more of a one piece. So it has a taper, but you can only see the taper really when you're looking at it from a certain angle, which is cool. And then I also grinded these bars down slightly to where they're more low profile grip bars. and then of course the edges, so it's just more comfortable. And then of course the crystal is ran in line with the main LED, so it matches whatever the LED does. We got, you know, blaster bolts and all that stuff, and lockup is going to affect flash on clash is all going to affect the blade. That affects the blade is going to affect the crystal too. So whatever you. Let's get some color changing in there. So you got orange. Yellow. There's your green. Brighter shade of green. Working on the blues now. Oh, that looks so good. There you go. You can see the chamber a little better. Looks so. I toot my own horn. I love this chamber. Almost a purple. Man, you get a good quartz lit up, looks so good in person. Almost back to red. And back to red. Alright, I'm gonna put the blade in there. Little blade plug that I like to do. They're fun. They're fun for me to just play around with. So blade depth is not that deep, obviously, with what you got going on here for blade depth. I mean, my NeoPixel connectors held by the glass eye. Thumb screw is for the blade, so you really just have, man, half an inch maybe. But with a 7/8 inch blade and the bunny ears, holds it in really well. Man, I mean, look at that. This was one of my unicorns back in the day, and I'll never get rid of this one. I do have spare parts to try another one eventually. I will. Again, this is all NeoPixel. This is installed by me. Weathering, everything's done by me. All right, let's get to it. I bring Darth Vader's enemies to justice. Starkiller's got to be blue or red, in my opinion. Yeah, a nice slow pulse. Very quick ignition. Get some other colors on this one. so good in red. I love it in red. See what else we got. This is one of my favorites. This is Barragor Ingot by Lord Blanco. Even for a non-smooth swing sound font, legacy style soundboards, it has a really good swing, like, sound. It's just very close to a very good swing, overlapping sound. So it kind of is very close to a smooth swing. This one I don't have anything. This one I don't have blasters set for bolts. It's just the entire blade locks up, which is old school. Very powerful addition.
Strike me down. It is your destiny.
Gotta have some Vader on there. I love the sound of this hum. The swings are very quiet and very quick. But I think it's cool. This is one of the Starkiller specific sound fonts. They did the clashes too.
Master Kota is dead. Yes.
Yes, my master. Oh, love this one. There's just something about a Starkiller. Force Unleashed 1. The exposed crystal. With it in red, it just looks so good, man. I don't know what it is. I actually see it. And that quartz crystal, the way the light reflects off the quartz crystal is amazing. Let's go ahead and get the other colors going. Man, it looks good with the yellow. Yeah, in the game you could get a bunch of different crystals. You could do your own color crystal however you wanted it. And this sucker's loud. This is like a lime. Or an kind of like a lime. No, there's your lime. That looks good on camera. Just different shades of green. Now we're getting to the bluer territories. See, look at that. It's hard to tell, but I really like the way the crystal chamber turned out. The ignition. This is by Force Effects. Which he has updated. He has Ultimate Starkilling, and it's for smooth swing boards, and it's pretty cool. I need to review it. Man, that looks so good on camera. I'm glad we're dusting this off and taking another look at this guy. It's been a minute. And back to that Vader. It's only 6 sound fonts on the Prism board. Back when I thought 6 was more than enough, now I got like 76 on each CFX card, pretty much. Force choke.
What is your will, my master?
Play with some different boots.
Accept your fate. Give in to the dark side. I am no longer your pawn.
show you guys. Why not? There's no reason to have that on there other than I think it's cool.
Strike me down. It is your destiny.
Exposed ribs that you can get with a 2.0. You cut it just right. Alright guys, this is a 2.0 korbanth Starkiller, heavily customized. You can get a lot of Starkiller kits, a lot of finished Starkiller sabers that are machined specifically for it. The 2.0 Starkillers are much more rare, especially now that the 2.0 korbanth 2.0 kit is no longer produced. Hasn't been for a while, so, and if you do get one, you still got to get some custom machined pieces like a pommel and a control box and whatnot. So this Starkiller 2.0 is one heck of a project. There's a lot that you got to take into consideration if you want to get one done or if you want to do one yourself. I highly support it. There's a Starkillers page on Facebook, which is another really good group. If anybody's looking at getting into, or if any hardcore Starkiller fans out there aren't aware of that Facebook group, there's just a lot of good people in there who build Starkillers, and it's a very positive and welcoming place. It's really, really good for if you want to get started and learn from a lot of really good Starkiller saber builders. Those guys in there are of the best. So I just wanted to show it off, guys. I wanted to do a better video of it, give it a little bit more justice, and then when I update it one day, I'll do another video. Why not, right? But that'll do it for this one, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you like it. I love it. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we took time aside from the normal work, the normal saber font reviews and other people's sabers, and get down and play with a favorite of mine. Alright guys, so I got more coming out as always. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to everyone who, I got a huge influx of subscribers lately, thanks to Lando Sabers, the Lando Saber community. Thank you so much. It's very, very nice. I was very humbled, very flattered, and a lot of people came over from there because of him, and it's just a very nice, very warming thing. And another reason why this hobby is just, it's too hard to not love, man. There's too many good people who have a big love for sabers, and I'm just lucky to be a part of it. Thank you guys so much for watching, commenting, subscribing. I do this for you guys. So thanks again, and until next time, may the force be with you.
I bring Darth Vader's enemies to justice.
Who's scruffy looking?